Hey everybody! Welcome back to the ABCs of RPGs, where we teach you the basics of tabletop role-playing games. My name is Spencer Reese. I'm going to be the game master today for Lancer, and I'm joined by my players, Dalton.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dalton. I've got he/him pronouns. I'm playing a Lancer named Kish Lark, call sign Backfire, also with he/him pronouns. He is a mechanic who found himself wanting to pilot a robot, and so he is using all of his cool mechanical skills to get as much like performance out of his robot as he possibly can. Next up, I think, is Justin.
Hey everybody, I'm Justin. I'm playing Rico Manitoba. He and my pronouns are he, him. I'm a starship pilot, and yeah, my mech is very combat oriented. Frontline.
The aviators and the jacket really selling the combat pilot look.
Yes, I dressed up.
He dressed as his character today.
Yeah,
I dressed
yeah.
up.
Oh. Well, Chris, do you want to introduce yourself next?
Sure. Chris, he/him pronouns for both me and my character, and my character is Cave Racking, call sign Hailstorm, and I am just here to blow shit up. And, yeah. Do that a whole lot.
I just like to blow things up. Next to Chris is Ashley, who had to work today, so that's why she's not joining us, but that's okay. We'll find a place where she can narratively fit in or do something. But last but not least, we have Mr. Michael Nye.
Hey, I'm Mike. Me and my character use he/him pronouns. I'm going to be playing as Mumtaz Kakmak, aka Mothman. Definitely a fire support kind of guy, just wanting to make sure the whole team gets home at the end of the day.
Aww. Perfect. Well, hey, like always, I always like to start us off with a get to know you question. Can somebody please roll me a D260, totally real die? Absolutely real die. I have one right here, but I want you guys to roll it.
It's just a sphere.
Let's say you guys have seen like the ones you can do like any number. Say do like water suspended dice.
143.
143. I haven't seen these water suspended dice.
Great. Now you've found another way for Spencer to blow money.
Yeah, I've seen D100s for sure like that. I haven't seen anything bigger than it. Well, no, I think maybe I have.
You know, you guys can do all this with just like D10s, right? Just different colored D10s. If you don't. Okay.
Just roll.
But then you have to roll a handful of
Physically
dice.
big. Like, in order for it to just have like an actual side to put a number on, how physically big is a D100, let alone a D260?
A D100, they can be about this big.
Yeah.
Like a golf ball.
Interesting.
Just
Wow.
a circle.
Yeah, they don't have to be all that big.
But you have to read the number.
Yeah. They're like maybe like a handball size ball. I think it's a little bit bigger than golf ball.
Anyways, it's a one phrase.
It's ball based. I mean, they can.
The get to know your question is if your pilot only had one sense, hearing, touch, sight, etc., which would your pilot want? If they could only have one, what would they want? I don't know if taste is essential to piloting your mech, but
Mm,
You know
I
what?
would say
I got my answer. Oh, go ahead.
I would say hearing. You know, all the better to you hear explosions or you can feel it no matter what in like your bones, and then hearing them is also pretty solid.
I would also agree with healing just because of the fact that like you got to think you're sitting in a mech, right? What's your field of vision anyways? That like you probably can't see where shit. But also we live in the future where just like AI can just like verbally communicate with you and you can just verbally communicate back what to do.
You just have audio assisted like battlefield tactics. Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I don't know if Kish would want just one sense. I think he might rather just be dead.
Yeah.
That's fair.
One only being able to do like one of the 5 senses that sounds terrifying. To me personally.
You know what? Just make another clone. I'm
Yeah,
gonna deal with
that
this.
was just grow a new me, just grow a new one. Throw this body out, do like a blaze of glory thing, and grow a new body that's less defective.
See, we haven't even gotten to like the like if your pilot dies and the cloning and everything like that. So I find it ironic that you're like less defective when there can be a lot of bad things that happen when you get cloned.
Yeah, but like it would be, it probably won't be as bad as being like trapped in like a coffin of a corpse. Like,
Yeah.
This question was surprisingly dark.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't want to be a dreadnought?
I'll roll those dice on reincarnation.
You clone for your pilot too, Justin.
Yeah, no, Rico just refers to it as reincarnation. Convenient reincarnation.
I love that. Oh, that's so nice. That's a nice little spin on it. Oh. Well, cool. Let me catch everybody else up from last time. So, last time, or I guess a couple sessions ago, we you as pilots have, as a part of the Union, come to the planet known as Nova Elysia. Sorry, I want to make sure I got that name right. Nov, blah 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 blah. All these names are weird. Don't know why they're weird names.
The space names. Space names have to be weird, otherwise they're too normal.
Sorry, Nova Elysium is the city. Cressidium is the planet. So that's where you guys came to the planet Cressidium. And what you're doing there is essentially you're trying to reestablish this planet back into Union, back into kind of like the overarching kind of humanitarian government after it's been separated for 500 years. The last committee, the second committee, was the current one in charge when they disconnected, and now the third committee's in charge, and they're a little bit better. So you guys got to the planet, but there's a Cold War going on. Your ambassador is trying to negotiate peace before they just start handing them the technology to just make whatever they want at any time that they want, using the new fancy 3D printers of the future. But you've lost contact with not only your ambassador, your Union ambassador, but also your ship captain. So the Union ambassador is Union Ambassador Neelan Banerjee, and your captain is Captain Bridget Ferris. The ambassador thought it'd be a great idea to bring your captain down to planetside to try to smooth the negotiations, only for, well, some bad stuff to happen. So contact was cut off. First Lieutenant Alex Kim started deploying forces down planetside to retrieve the captain and the ambassador. And that's where you guys come in. You guys got in your dropship, you started heading down, but you got shot down. Turns out not only is communication jammed, but there's a full-scale invasion done by the Vestan Sovereignty onto the LSA city of Nova Elysia. And so that's where you guys are. You guys crash land down, you fought off some guys, took some damage, but the battlefield has kind of cleared around where your dropship landed, and you kind of had a moment to kind of repair your mechs and recover. So that's where we kind of left off. I said this at the end of last session, but I'll just kind of repeat it just so you guys kind of kind of have a visual layout of where you guys kind of are. Nova Elysia is a modern city on par with any core world metropolis. Tall, gleaming buildings rise over precisely ordered streets and thoroughfares, all built in a grandiose, somewhat outsized architectural style that hints at the player's setcom history. Under better circumstances, the city might be beautiful, but now a grimy haze of dust and smoke hangs in the air. Empty cars line the roads, signs of a hasty evacuation, while civil defense warnings urging people to take shelter loop endlessly across automated advertisements. And that's what you kind of hear and what you see as you're kind of like maybe pulled off into one of the buildings at your crash site, kind of repairing your mechs and doing and making sure you're ready to head out.
So before we get started, you mentioned some information in there that I want to make sure about.
Yeah.
I don't know if our characters know. Like
Sure.
you mentioned that there's like an invasion happening
Yeah,
on this planet by another group. We don't know that, do we? Like we
necessarily.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that, like,
You know that there definitely is a Cold War that's been going on between the Vestin sovereignty and the LSA, and this is an LSA city, and
Yep.
that all the mechs you currently fought had the dressings of the Vestin sovereignty.
okay. So we recognized Vestin sovereignty
For sure.
insignias on these enemy mechs.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the LSA trying to provoke a war.
And when we were given this like diplomatic mission, who
Yeah.
were we meeting with?
Essentially, the captain and Union Ambassador Banerjee are currently located further into the city at kind of think of it kind of like a UN center type deal where they're like meeting to discuss negotiations.
Which organization are they affiliated with? The LSA, I'm guessing, since this is an LSA affiliated city.
Are you talking about your captain and the ambassador?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about who the captain and ambassador like are here to meet with.
It was supposed to be kind of like all the delegates from because there's 3 central powers here.
Mhm.
So all 3 everybody was supposed to be meeting like a UN kind of like meeting center, but it is an LSA city. Yes.
Okay, and you mentioned 3 factions:
Yes.
the LSA, the Vestian Dynasty, and what would the third one be then?
Yeah, so obviously the LSA and the Vestin sovereignty get like the most attention, but the third one, let me pull up the name, is on here somewhere. The Republic of Abyssinia.
Now, if it's a republic, who cares? I don't care about democracy.
So, I like to imagine
sovereignty
too.
sounds way cooler. Sounds like they might have a strong, powerful monarch in charge. Possibly birthright inherited.
The Vestin sovereignty is just shooting at you right now and trying to kill you. That's all.
I'm just really inspired when my leaders are ordained by higher beings.
Yeah. Yeah, when they're in charge because God said so. That's the kind
Yeah.
of government I can get behind.
Yeah, obviously.
That's how I know my leader's right, is they were picked by God.
It's by God.
I
They
mean, I don't
wouldn't
want to.
be there if he didn't want them there.
Yeah, I don't want to pick.
Exactly.
I don't want to pick a leader. I don't know how to pick leaders. God, though, that's a being that knows how to pick a leader.
Or gods. I don't know the religious culture of this planet.
It's true. It could be
I like to-
polytheistic planet.
I like to imagine that you had either done this research about what was going on beforehand, or you were just like you grabbed the OmniNet communicator from Mothman and started asking Rio all these questions, and then just started a whole talk between your crew about whether or not you should be ordained by God before you rule a country.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you think in this society of a future spacefaring culture, I don't know what you want to call it, how has that affected religions? Like, how does your concept of like divine creation of humanity like change?
You should search the phrase "raw" on your OmniNet.
Or ask
You're
Rio about it.
Yeah, or ask. don't ask Rio about it. She might start to. That might be a thought crime for NHPs.
Aren't we supposed to go on a mission? What is this? This is so. Rico is not about this,
All
man.
right. No, I wanted to level set and make sure that I knew what my character knew.
Yeah.
And so we're aware that the Vestian dynasty, you said,
Vestin sovereignty.
Vestin sovereignty.
They should call themselves dynasty though. That's way better than sovereignty.
The Vestin sovereignty have attacked this city at about the same time the third union or whatever has come to the planet to try to negotiate some amount of peace during the Cold War.
Yeah.
Okay.
Negotiations have been in process for a little bit, and while they were tense, it didn't seem like it would go into a full out war.
Okay.
But here we are.
right.
Yes.
Well, I think if we're all good to, I don't know, start the role play session, we're all on the same page. I can flip us over. I don't know if there's like a map or like image on Roll20 you want besides the.
Oh, just the current combat map.
Okay.
I'll switch it as soon as other things come up. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right,
But yeah.
we're in game mode now. So Mothman, Rio said that we have to go north of here.
Yes.
Forward
is
operating
correct.
base saber.
Yeah, to forward operating base saber, and she said that there was some artillery that she wanted us to deal with on the way.
I mean,
If possible.
deal with, avoid, not get shot by. Kind of thought that was a little open up to interpretation personally.
I mean, if we want bonus points, we want to raise later. I feel like taking out the artillery is probably the way to go. Is that something like we can see?
Maybe you might see missiles being shot in the distance, but you don't see any like directly. Most of the fighting's closer to like the downtown of the city,
Okay.
so you'd have to go closer, probably on your way to forward operating base saber.
Well, I mean, I definitely don't think we should stick around here. We should probably get moving, unless any of you guys think there's something to like scrap or they want to get a hold of.
No, I think
over
we-
here.
I think we did that at the end of the last one.
Yeah, everybody reload. We good to go.
I think so.
Define good.
You got your robot working again.
Yeah, look, the arm's back on.
The important bit.
Yeah.
Just one arm probably, but you know, it's fine.
Well, the legs work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dalton, you mentioned searching around. Was Backfire searching around, or was anybody else searching among the debris and everything?
We did a little bit at the end of the last
Yeah.
session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gave us like a targeted designator or something, but that's the only thing I remember.
That's what I was just making sure. So just know that one of you has that bombardment reserve, which is kind of just like a little designator that you kind of have in your hand. That's an enemy artillery designator that you can use that. So, but yes.
Do we have an opinion on who should hold on to that?
Probably one of the back support guys like you, Mothman, if I had to.
That's what I was thinking, but I also don't want to be the guy who says I should be in charge of the artillery.
Well, I'll
No, you're kind of already
Yeah,
in
I'll second
charge of
that.
the artillery, right?
My artillery is currently busted, so
Well, here, consider this.
What?
Yeah, this is a replacement.
Yeah. I'm fine with you having it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, if we go take out their artillery, you can just strap one of their cannons to your back and see if that works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if it works that way, but
They're gonna combine?
they're gonna, or maybe I'm gonna combine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything else left for us here. It still sounds like there's probably fighting all over the place, right, Spencer?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a battleground that you're surrounded, but you guys can kind of start heading in the direction of forward operating base saber if you guys want to.
I think so.
Cool.
I vote
Yep.
yes.
All right.
Yep.
Well, as you start heading towards forward operating base Saber, it starts to take you closer to downtown, which is that this is close to the thick of the fighting. More and more buildings have been damaged in crossfire, and broken glass and debris crunch beneath your feet as your mechs kind of traverse the environment. There seems to be like an air of dissonance between a place where people live and work and the violating encroachment of weapons in war. That kind of creates this unsettling and intense atmosphere as you kind of walk through these buildings that probably earlier at the beginning of the day were full of people and moving about. You also notice that you've been experiencing the jamming since you've landed, and it's constant. There's not peaks where you can get in comm communication between other people. The only thing that's working is your OmniNet signal that you have, but that essentially you've been talking to Rio. But yeah, you make your way through a downtown area, and then let me go ahead and move this over. All right, that should be dark, but you should be able to kind of see this like destroyed building and everything. Mm-hmm. As you make your way through a downtown area, you round a corner and find a broken down bus stalled out. You see several soldiers hastily attempting to repair the engine. And as soon as you round the corner and you see them, they immediately drop their tools and throw up their hands into the air.
Question.
Yes. Yeah?
I guess, well, two questions. One, do we have like a uniform that I would recognize? Like, do pilots wear like a standard thing? Second question, are these people wearing any type of standard outfit that I may or may not recognize?
Funny you asked that. They are wearing, based on their uniforms and markings, you can easily identify them as soldiers belonging to the LSA and not the Sovereignty.
Cool.
Are we in our mech suits right now? Or are we?
Yeah. I'm not getting out.
No, that's fine.
I would imagine that your mech suit is probably faster than on foot, so you're probably using that to like traverse and move.
Also, if we get out, how do you move? Are you just leaving your mech there?
Yeah. Unless you have like an NHP that can like autopilot it for you.
Yeah.
Mechs in general have like speakers, right, to like project sound out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, like I kind of want to put them try to put them at ease a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said like they immediately like drop their tools and like put their hands up.
Yeah, they say, whoa, don't shoot, please. There's civilians on board.
Yeah,
and,
be clear that we weren't planning on it, and we'd rather not. It seems like you guys need some help.
Yeah. Where are you guys from?
We're with the Union. We were part of security detail for some ambassadors and crashed.
Oh, good. Yeah. Me and Jim here. We got separated from our launcher convoy. We were escorting civilians to a defense shelters, and we got ambushed and cut off. We were trying to make our way, but obviously this bus got, we're trying to fix it up, but we're not really mechanics.
That's crazy. Guess what I am?
What? You should say that.
We're mechanics.
Oh, would you be able to help us out then?
Yeah. Why? I mean, wait, hold on. Sidebar. I turn around and
Hey, El Diablo, join me on my private channel for a second. I stay out in public.
Turns around. He's
in the mech, just like
the robot, like fully turns.
Every now and then, the whole mech like turns around and looks over its shoulder.
Yeah. Furtive glances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we gonna help them?
Yeah, I think we should help.
We can light them up. I don't really care.
No, we're not gonna do that.
I just wanted to check.
He said there were civilians.
Okay.
It could be lying. You never know.
I haven't seen any.
Well,
Yeah, have we seen, or does it look like civilians inside the bus?
Yeah, you kind of you look into like the bus that's kind of broken down right now, and you see frightened passengers look back at you through the windows and duck down with cries of alarm. While you've announced yourself as Union pilots, they still seem very scared. So
I mean, we are in giant mechs, and they're in a bus.
We have a large gun.
El Diablo,
Very-
why don't you help me try and get this bus running? And
Yeah, Mothman and I can stand guard.
yeah.
Sure, you guys snuck up on.
okay, perfect. Yeah. So essentially, how we're gonna resolve this is an extended skill check. You can look up what page is covered under that on page 47. Essentially how an extended skill check works is that this is outside of mech combat. So we're not in rounds, we don't do anything like that. Every skill challenge is basically a roll to beat to hit 10 or above, which is really cool. And this is a time and moment where your pilot triggers that you made at the beginning might come in handy. There is going to be 3 parts to this extended skill challenge to kind of safely escort the bus. And the first one, as you may have guessed, is repair the bus. So, Dalton,
Nobody
you
said
announced-
anything about escorting a bus. I just thought I was gonna fix it.
All right. Well, if you only do one part of the challenge, that's fine. So,
We'll see what they say. We'll see what happens if we can fix the bus or not.
We'll see how grateful they are before we actually take steps.
Once we fix this shoddily photoshopped into the picture bus.
Yeah, it feels really funny.
hey, I was trying my best. Okay.
This bus looks pretty antique for 5,000 years in the future.
It gets the job done.
It's just not true.
Of how white that bus is compared to this very orange sun-setting environment.
Yeah.
So,
You did a very good job compositing the lighting correctly.
thank you. I'm an artist. Anyways, okay. So I mentioned there's only 3 there's 3 stages to this extended skill challenge. You only have to pass 2 of the 3 in order to successfully do this. So, yeah, the first one is repair the bus. So, Dalton, you mentioned that Backfire and El Diablo are doing this together.
Well, I think, yeah. I think there's a couple other things before
Yeah.
like we make the check that
Yeah.
like you kind of let us know. Isn't there's whether or not a check is, I think, difficult or risky.
Oh yeah.
That have definitions. I don't know. I think that'd be up to the GM to say.
Yeah. So basically, yes. So Dalton, like you were just saying, me as a DM, you as players or anything, you might be thinking, well, if I can just roll anything, it's a 50-50 shot, even if I'm not using triggers, I can just do anything, right? Well, not necessarily. Me as a GM has the ability to make different checks difficult, risky, or heroic. And heroic. You can kind of combine them, which is cool. But a difficult roll is harder than usual and adds +1 difficulty, which, if we remember from what we've been doing before, is adding a d6 to the roll and minusing it from your total. So that's rolling the d20, then rolling the d6 and minusing it from the d20. A risky roll has clear and obvious complications even on success. For example, if you're trying to sneak into a heavily guarded facility, that I might decide is a risky roll, and for that you always suffer the consequences if you attempt to do the activity. On any result under 20. So on any result under 20, you always suffer the consequences. And a skill check still succeeds as usual on a 10+, but the character suffers the consequences anyways. So basically, if you roll above a 20, you don't have to face consequences, but you still succeed on a 10+. You just also get consequences. Like if the consequence was, if you're sneaking into the base and an alarm were to go off, rolling under 10, the alarm just goes off and you can't do it. Rolling above the 10, you successfully sneak in, but the alarm goes off. And rolling above the 20, you sneak in and the alarm doesn't go off. So just making sure there are clear consequences to all of that. So And then a heroic roll is just only successful on a result of 20 plus. And the character making the attempt also suffers consequences if the roll is less than 20. So basically, if I want to push things, I can make a heroic roll be difficult or so on and so forth. So those are the different types of like the light story role-playing outside of the mech combat. Those are kind of like different types of rolls I can call upon to make them more challenging. But this is not going to be any of those. There is no difficulty. This is not risky, and it is not heroic. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
I guess in this instance, then, Backfire or El Diablo, I don't think it really matters, is going to be trying to fix the bus, right? So because
Well, I have a +2 to hacking fix, actually.
okay, so
Sounds perfect.
does that Spencer? Does that skill trigger apply here?
I think fixing does. Yes.
Okay.
Sweet.
So El Diablo, you're going to be doing it. I'll be helping out. So you're going to roll 1d20. You're going to add 2 for the skill trigger and add 1 accuracy. So another 1d6 because I'm helping you.
So 3d6, and I take the best.
1d6.
Yeah.
No.
So it's you still roll at 1d20.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have just a straight +2 from your skill trigger. It's like a +2 to the result. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then a plus 1d6 for the help. And
Mhm.
Spencer, I would ask, I have my background is a mechanic. Can I invoke
Ooh.
that while I'm helping, or would I need to be like the primary person to be doing it to invoke my background?
What page were those helping rolls at again? I think it's just the accuracy. I think I would roll it that you would need to be the main person doing it.
Okay.
But I feel like when we were discussing backstory, Justin did describe himself as background being a mechanic. Justin was
Mechanical
background
engineer.
mechanical engineer. So I would argue.
So
that
I could
yeah.
help. I mean, could I give him my +2?
No, if you're a mechanical engineer and we think that we all agree that that's relevant to this check, you get another accuracy.
Yeah. I mean, I know how to like fix cars and stuff like that. I have.
Yeah.
Actually, man, I got a '66 Mustang. It's an old antique car, man. It's like I built it. You're not supposed to drive it because it'll basically fall apart, man. It's real old. But
It runs on gasoline?
Yeah,
yeah, it runs on gasoline, man. Couldn't even really drive.
Where do you
it.
even? Yeah, where do you even get gasoline these days?
Actually, man, I converted it a while back. It runs on old vegetable oil. So I
Okay.
just drive around to the fry house. I'm buy it off them for real cheap.
So yeah, El Diablo, you get 1d20. You add 2 from your skill trigger,
Okay.
and then you roll 2d6 and keep the highest of those 2 and add that.
Because those are 2 accuracy. And
Balls.
you roll the same for both accuracy, but really good roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a 20.
Perfect.
Where does the
Yeah.
second accuracy come from?
So he has a background as a mechanical engineer, and we said that that's relevant.
Okay.
And then I'm helping for a second accuracy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I think since Justin rolled a 10 or higher, that is a pass.
Success. Yeah, you nailed it. And I'm gonna say because it was like a 20, like you get down and realize that these guys really didn't know what they were doing, but all the parts were there. So you like just tighten like a few bolts and like give it some oil, and it starts up within like 5 minutes. Like it's good to run.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You hear from the
right
bus. Yeah. Jim gets behind the wheel. You hear the rum of the engine kind of start up. You hear like sighs of relief come from the passengers on the bus, and maybe a little girl who's kind of like face just like planted on like one of the windows, just like waving at you, and gives you a thumbs up.
Give her one of those. Give her some finger guns. Oh, nod of the cat.
Jim was in the bus, but the other guy who was originally talking to you, he goes, thank you. That was really quick. I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Cash. What you said? He points at you, Dalton. You're Backfire.
Well, my name is Kish.
Kish. Okay.
You can call me Kish.
Thanks, Kish. And thank you. He points to Justin, your character, El Diablo. He goes, thank you as well.
Oh, you can call me El Diablo. No problem.
Do you have somewhere safe you're trying to get to?
Yeah, actually. So we were heading probably about northeast, I think. There's apparently a stadium we are putting all the civilians in, and that's what we were going to. It's been kind of dangerous, though. Would you be able to go ahead and make sure it's like ahead of us and make sure it's okay?
Mothman, what direction did you say we were going?
That way.
Is he pointing northeast?
It's more north, but it's along the similar path.
Yeah, it's on the way. No problem.
I radio back to Backfire. Can you ask him a quick question as to when all of this, started? Like when, because we've only been here for what, like an hour, 2 hours?
You mean like when did the civil rest
No, like when were shots fired, sirens went off, evac warnings are like triggered.
Yeah, this particular action, like when did the was it a sovereignty or a dynasty?
Sovereignty. Vestan sovereignty.
Like when did the Vestan sovereignty actively start attacking? Was that like an earlier today thing? Was that like recent? What's going on with that?
First off, as a GM, I find it hilarious that you are just communicating that to him by radio and not just talking to these people directly. That's hilarious.
Well,
but
he's on foot with them. That I figured it would make sense that like a person like face to face, hey man, what's going on? Rather than like the 20-foot mecha in the background on the loudspeaker. Civilian, when did this start?
So that's amazing. So Dalton, Backfire asks Cash about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cash turns to you and goes, he like looks at his watch. Probably about 6 hours now, I think. It was earlier today. It's starting to get afternoon. The sun's kind of going down, so he says to you, probably maybe around noon, I think, when this started to happen. It definitely wasn't expected. Yeah. Basically what happened, we noticed first, was all communication just went down. Our infrastructure, our communications, business workers were already kind of starting to pack up and leave for the day when it happened, and then their mechs started rolling in.
They're packing up at noon?
No, the
workday.
It couldn't work.
Okay.
Oh, I guess that's true. Like communications went down.
Yeah.
So they were getting ready to call it for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But everybody made it out. So
yeah, I mean that makes sense. We probably would have heard. I feel like I would hope we would have heard about something happening. If it had happened earlier than that, we just crashed not a couple hours ago.
I'm sure. If we can figure out whatever's jamming everything, maybe we can take it out, and we could probably send some messages back and forth. That's probably the hiccup right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that checks out. That checks out on what the jamming would stop communications.
we could go help them out, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'd have.
Did they know where it is?
Right. I think.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Do you guys know where this is?
No.
It's just a dude with a bus, El Diablo.
I'm just trying to get these guys to the stadium.
Let's.
Oh, some information. I don't. Damn, man.
I know. No. It's not your fault. I'm really appreciative of the bus.
Rio asked us to get to the forward operating base. I think if we get.
Oh,
we'll get some more information, but on the
military
way,
probably is better informed.
yeah, on the way, we'll clear a path for these civilians to get to the crisis center.
Perfect. And yeah, that's the next skill challenge, is to scout a safe route ahead.
Okay.
All right. I'll take rear.
Feel relevant to this?
Relevant to escorting them?
This is
Wait,
just
maybe.
ahead. So you are just scouting out ahead. You're not escorting the bus just yet.
I don't think so. You could maybe argue get somewhere quickly. Because that's get somewhere quickly and without complication. But I don't. That's like. It says with speed, not necessarily stealth.
Yeah. I feel like that's more so like you're like running to get somewhere within a certain time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me just.
I can.
Yeah.
I have spot. I can spot things if we're just scouting.
I think spot. If that's one of your skill triggers, I think that's definitely relevant.
Out of curiosity, how clear are the roads for this bus?
Like
Like pretty drivable.
Yeah, I would argue that there's enough for the bus to kind of like drive along. Yeah.
I mean, if not, Hailstorm and I have blow something up. We could clear a path pretty
Yeah,
easily.
but I didn't know. Like, obviously, we're not escorting it now. But if the roads are just like full of rubble, like the entire way, there are other solutions to pursue than just continually blowing up all of the rubble.
You know what? I would argue that's probably part of this. That's why the bus isn't following you just yet. The reason why you have to scout out ahead for the route is, one, to make sure mechs aren't enemy, like Vestin Sovereignty mechs are in the way, but two,
Like,
to
find a
also make
clear
sure
path.
that the path is clear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mothman, you said you have spot as one of your skill triggers,
Yes, I do.
so I think you should probably take point on.
I'm not good at point.
All right, I will take point. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start like throwing cars out of the way if they're in the way of the road.
Yeah, like we all go. We're kind of like trudging our feet like you do in snow to like clear the path, but it's like rubble.
Yeah, you're just smashing like concrete and stuff down.
I really hope no one's trapped under any of the rubble.
Well, that's why we're not stepping on it. We're just kind of like you said, you trudge through snow to kind of push it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's shuffling.
How worried are we about stealth right now?
Wait,
Yeah, we probably could. It might be easier that way. Just get one of the buses, walk it there.
I don't
yeah.
think so.
Like, can
I
we
think
pick this bus up? Like, how big is like
yeah, our mechs are size 1, which means they're about like 10 to 15 feet tall. A bus is probably slightly smaller than that, but not like.
I mean,
pick up.
all 4 of us could pick it up and like
Now, hear me
carry it
out.
over the rubble.
We could throw it like a football.
It is mechanically considered a size 2, but just
Okay,
to let you guys know.
We definitely can't.
Just to let you guys know, the third skill check is provide an escort. So I think why it's designed is to try to scout out the thing ahead. That's like another check, and then the second one is just providing an escort to get it there. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I will scout with whoever is scouting, or I will go first. That's fine.
Or, I mean, does anybody have like relevant stuff to scouting?
I mean, I do.
Trick.
I have boosters, so I can pop around and not be hindered by the terrain.
so the boosters I think is more like attached to your mech and everything, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I went back to my mech. I'm in my
Yeah, no, sorry. So I should clarify. So in mech combat, that's when we use a lot of like the mech specific combat rules and everything. So outside of combat, which is kind of like what we're doing right now, we're just using the pilot triggers, the pilot background, and just kind of like that kind of like general light role playingness, where the checks are only to beat a 10 basically, unless I call for it to be risky or difficult and everything like that. So
Oh, okay.
So
Well-
when we're deciding to roll and everything, what we're taking into account, like Dalton's saying, is like, hey, does anybody have any relevant triggers that will help them out with this roll? Which it sounds like Nice character Mothman has the spot trigger, which would add +2 to the roll. Or if you have like a relevant background, that might add a accuracy die.
Or like
to
if
the
you
roll.
had if you brought gear like a viewfinder, or if you
Mhm.
had any reserves, anything like that to help. But it sounds like Mothman refuses to be the scout.
Well, hold on.
Cool your jet.
I also have survive, which is persevere through harsh, hostile, or unforgiving environments. So I don't know if that would apply.
How would you apply it? I guess. This is the
I
moment
guess if
for
it's
you
just
as
like
players.
shoving rubble, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna apply yet. But you said gear, which made me think.
Yeah.
I have a smart scope, which provides high res magnification up to 2 miles. They can also be paired with thermal, optical, or simulated vision devices, so that could help. And I have a personal drone, which is a small non-combat drone that are common sight in the field. They're fairly noisy, but can fly about half a mile with good maneuverability before losing signal. So I'm not gonna take lead, but I will bust out my my drone and just kind of get a bird's eye view.
Yeah. So I think Mothman is going to be the one who's doing the scouting skill check, Spencer. If you think that's
Yeah.
fine.
That sounds great.
Okay. So let's do the counting up, I guess, of bonuses that we think Mothman gets. So we got a D20 as base. Spencer, do you think
Spot is +2.
Spot gets +2? Do you
Mhm.
think he gets like an accuracy for any of like the equipment or anything?
Yeah, I think definitely with the drone. I was trying to see if there was any like specific mechanics that says like, oh, they have this gear, they get this thing, but it doesn't really seem like there's anything like that. So I think that's a GM ruling, and I'm just gonna say yeah, because the drone definitely helps out. So let's throw in an accuracy die in there. So for sure.
All right, so I guess I'm just looking right now for the most optimal path. Kind of, I mean, obviously kind of enemies. If I see like any movement, I'm gonna like relay that, hey guys, like in this alley up here, there's whatever the fuck.
Into getting the most up-to-date path, can I use my subjectivity enhancement suite to download a map into somebody's mech?
Well, describe what that thing is, please.
Subjectivity enhancement suite is a set of cybernetic implants allowing users to hack systems without a rig. Users of these suites blend the organic with the synthetic. So I'm a cyborg.
Of course you are. By the way, guys, I'm a cyborg. Just so you know.
Yeah.
No, well, I have the hack and fix thing, so I thought that this was some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when plugged in, I can access a comprehensive, fully interactive alternate reality interface with direct OmniNet access. And since Spencer, you said we had OmniNet access, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Making navigating or hacking local network systems as easy as wishing it so. Although if I get into, I have to be careful by opening up my mind to the digital, you may face dangers other less enhanced people are ignorant of. So this is not without its dangers, inherent dangers.
Well, I guess I should clarify. The OmniNet access is like their civilization doesn't have access to the OmniNet. The OmniNet access is just to get directly back to your ship. It sounds like that's like saying like you kind of hack into the local network to kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to use
yeah.
I want to use like my connectivity via this OmniNet access that I have to get into their.
Right. Everything local is jammed.
But like I wouldn't be able to access maps.
Not.
Just take a picture for us.
Yeah,
Well,
that's fine.
I think, yeah.
reading the description of the OmniHook allows for communication, data transfer, and limited hotspotting. So I'm assuming I can also just contact Rio if we want to move. I can probably just text Rio and be like, "Hey, I assume we have some type of map
Yeah.
in our system that we could just download. Like,
Sure.
it might not be up to date with the rubble that's everywhere, but like,
But then I can use my interactive map to like cut through that and create augmented reality around me and move
Yeah.
through the city.
Sure. That all sounds awesome. I would say like that combined with like the drone could definitely provide you like a map of the area and everything.
all right.
Sweet.
So looking for enemies and the best path with the drone. So right now I have a D20, a D6, and a
Mhm.
+2. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. And here we go. I always get shitty rolls in D20, so let's see what
Well,
happens.
with add another accuracy because Justin's character is helping out now by doing like the map and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
I'll get an additional +1 with my shitty rolls that are about to happen. Here we go.
You got it. I have
have
faith.
confidence.
Oh, what? How do I... What's the command?
Slash R.
Oh, I hit... What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's going to be a 26.
26 Nye. No
I
bad
never
rolls
get-
today.
Fuck, I get shit in combat.
That's okay. You got good now.
So I like
This is why I'm fire support, is I'm really fucking good at not being in the front lines, apparently.
I like to imagine this is like a huge moment for both like Backfire and El Diablo to like work together. Like you mentioned some kind of like military rivalry at the beginning, but at this moment like both of you kind of click together and maybe you're bouncing ideas back and forth. You're like, wait, I can get a map from Rio and like El Diablo, like, I can like, put that together. What?
Backfire and El Diablo?
Backfire and El Diablo. Oh no,
Backfire and
no,
El Diablo.
sorry. El Diablo and Mothman. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, but you guys are talking back and forth, and you're just like putting together. Like you send up the drone, you get the map from the Rio. El Diablo starts like putting together like an optimal path because of his cyborgness, and you guys are able to just like put on everybody's display like the most accurate route, avoiding Vestin sovereignty mechs that are kind of like moving through the area, and you perfectly plotted out. So yes, you succeed at it stupendously. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a path, but my next question, did we see any areas that were like heavily in I don't even know what I'm gonna call the enemy here, but just like mech activity, especially like, is there any active combat we should specifically not go that are somewhat close to us?
Absolutely. That's definitely part of the optimal path, right? It's like you have to go up like 2 blocks, make a left turn, go down 3 blocks because like to your like southeast, like 2 blocks away, there's like currently like fighting forces going on right now. So yes, absolutely.
Are they mostly mech forces or are these like foot soldiers?
I would say it's a mix of both. Both sides do have mechs that they're kind of working with, but I would say for the most part, LSA kind of got caught off guard, so most of their fighters are on foot, versus the Vestin Sovereignty's like mechs is kind of what you see as you're kind of scouting it out.
Cool. All right.
For future rolls, before you get too further, I posted in the Roll20 thing. If you put like a KH1 or keep highest 1 at the end of the number of D6, it'll automatically just grab the highest number.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
So if you do like what I'm doing, where /R 1d20 plus x d6 KH1 plus y, where like x is the number of accuracy and y is any like trigger bonuses, you should get. Yeah, you can either like and swap the plus for minus if you have a lot of like disadvantage or difficulty. Right.
Right, because yeah, advantage and difficulty don't add together; they just cancel out.
Yep.
But do you keep the highest or lowest for the difficulty?
Keep highest because you're subtracting.
Yeah. Well, cool. Perfect. Yeah, you guys passed the second skill check. There's only one left. It is providing an escort right now for the bus. So you are now escorting. You have to escort it now that you have the path that El Diablo and Mothman have kind of put together. So
Cool.
All right.
I guess we're escorted. How fast can we move in these mechs?
your speed.
Yeah. 4.
Per.
4.
Yeah,
It's its own unit.
4, Nye. It's 4 hexes. What are you talking about?
Well, like, so in D&D, most characters move 30 feet per turn, but a turn in theory is like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know
It
what
is-
length of
I
like.
think it's just more abstract.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 is hexes. The time between rounds is just the round time.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because theoretically, this bus can move 30 miles an hour, let's say. I don't know how far we're going. I would like to think a mech that's walking through a rubble-infested city might not be able to go at 30 miles an hour. So I bring up the question, is it advantageous for them to slow down for us to keep up with them, or for them to just do their thing?
I think you might be missing the point of what an escort is if they're going on without us.
No, I know what an escort is. That's why I'm specifically saying, are we slowing them down by escorting them?
The point the point of
where
an
it's-
escort isn't how fast they get to the destination. It's that if something happens while they're getting there, they have someone to protect them.
But if they can move faster, then they don't get into a problem where they need someone to
Mothman,
protect.
I'm not having this argument with you today. I'm stressed out. It's been a long day. You might have a concussion, so we're just gonna move on.
Yeah, man. We can't just have them go on without us. That's not an escort. That's just a.
Yeah, but I understand that's not an escort. I'm asking, what is the validity of that escort if it's unnecessary?
What?
You're missing the question's deeper level.
I mean,
It's necessary until I
machine guns. They don't have any of that. Even like a smaller gun that's kind of big.
Mechanically, that thing only moves as fast as your mech when you're like moving and such like that. So, but if we want to talk about it narratively, I would argue that probably mechs are faster than most cars, especially this bus you just fixed back up, because you're just able to like push yourself farther. So,
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
yes.
Mothman has been appeased. We can.
The deep questions.
Okay, so we can go now.
Yeah. I
Alright.
think in this situation, we're probably all doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll get the one accuracy because like someone is helping everyone else. Is this a difficulty or risky check, Spencer?
No. I would have ruled it difficulty if like you failed the last one or the previous one. Then it was like, oh well, you didn't scout out a good route, so now there's mechs everywhere and it's a bit more difficult now. But you guys have been nailing it, so no, this is not difficult or risky or anything like that. So
Nice.
I'd like to dual monitor my my drone as we like move through, just so it's like flying overhead, just in case something changes. We kind of have a head start.
it's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Nice. I am using the drone to
Yeah.
create the augmented world.
Where everybody, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody kind of has like the path. It's like
Yeah,
it's like in
the
GTA
visual
where like the
overlay.
arrows. Yeah, exactly.
Anybody think they have
2D.
relevant like background or skill triggers to take point on the escort?
Yes.
Oh yeah, get some more cookies. Probably the one we want.
Those are two very assault for escort or get somewhere quickly. They're basically the same thing.
I mean, they can be.
Yeah, different means to the same end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Go with your thing. I want to point that out there.
yeah.
But I don't know if get somewhere quickly is and obviously the GM can rule this. I don't know if it's going to be super helpful because if like I can't make this bus like not have rubble in the way.
Yeah, so
Well, yeah, no, that like we're going around it, and that get somewhere quickly skill can mean like there's just like this game seems like during this path there could be complications, and that Spencer may be rolling behind the scenes, but we don't know what's going on.
I'm not, but yeah.
us using this skill may kind of get rid of that if that's a factor, or I mean, we're like kind of winding through the street around, so there's no like flat tires, let's say. That would definitely not be getting somewhere quickly if that happened.
Yeah.
Well, I have survive in that case, which I feel like could help.
And that's the biggest thing is with these triggers, they're open-ended. The biggest thing is you just have to make your case why you think it'd be relevant. Like if you think get somewhere quickly could be like, well, I know how to get somewhere quickly and make a expedited path, so we're not shuffling around or getting stopped by different things. I think you can make that argument to be like, yeah, I think this would apply. Do you agree? And I could say, yeah, absolutely. I think that kind of generally applies to this situation. Or no. You'd probably have to have something else to help out. But
right, like I went out on a limb with using the augmented interface. Spencer, I was ready for Spencer to say no to that.
No, I thought that was awesome. This is all sick right now. So
Okay. It's just weird, not again in D&D where there's kind of like this skill does these things specifically. It's weird having just like, tell me why it works. Make a case.
it's the duality of the system. Like mech combat has all of that specific stuff. Like this does this thing with this many hexes. Outside of combat, it is very just open. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're saying that get somewhere quickly applies as a skill trigger in this situation. Okay.
Yes.
I have that, so I guess I'll take point on this one.
Cool.
I don't think we're getting any more accuracy besides the one accuracy from helping out each other.
There was a background that was relevant, but I don't think there's any relevant backgrounds to this. And
not that we have. I think there is like bodyguard or something.
Okay.
In the list of
that would have been. That would definitely applied.
But like, I don't. If someone had one that applied, they would have brought it up at this point. I feel like. So.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's a pass. I rolled
Two.
a 10. So.
Yeah. Critical fail. But that's okay. Here's what happens. So you already passed 2 of the 3 successes, so you successfully escort the bus. Here's kind of how that looks. So basically, you guys are able to, El Diablo hops down there, fixes up the engine, gets it running and such like that. Cash and Jim are super thankful for you. You start shrugging, you scout out ahead. Mothman's using his drone to kind of scout the path. El Diablo kind of maps it out. Then you guys get together and you start to kind of escort the bus. Backfire takes point, and you kind of go ahead, and you are following the same path that El Diablo has been mapping out with Mothman's help, and there doesn't seem to be any larger groups around, so things are going pretty well. However, Backfire, you're kind of like on a suspended bridge, and you kind of step on one point, and it had already been weakened earlier from just like a random missile that just launched and hit below. So it caves out below you and you get separated from the group, and that actually alerts some other mechs. So there's this kind of conflict as maybe a couple of you escort the bus away as mechs kind of close down the location, and maybe somebody else joins Backfire to like help fight off the mechs. But then because you guys still have the map that Mothman and El Diablo are able to scout out, you're able to get the bus safely to the stadium while Backfire and anybody else who stays behind to help them fights off the other mechs. So however you guys kind of want to look at, if anybody wants to stay behind with Backfire or anything like that. But I like to think that El Diablo and Mothman probably stayed with the bus since they're the ones on the route, right? So
Yeah, I'll stick behind.
Yeah. So, and then maybe Python, who's still with you guys, also stays behind. So you guys are able to dispatch the few scouts that kind of come out to investigate, and then you guys regroup in front of the stadium with the bus and everything. So,
Do you want me to take any like damage or repair capacity or anything?
nope, you're good. Yeah. But yeah, so you guys successfully do that. You clear safe paths for the bus and escort it through the worst of the fighting. Yeah, so obviously Cash and Jim come out and they kind of like wave at you guys. I'm not sure if anybody else, everybody I think is probably still in their mix. So they wave all at you guys and they say, "Thank you! We got it from here!" And you hear applause kind of like come out of the bus as everybody's like kind of cheering and thanking you.
Nice. I wave. I make my mech wave back.
Aw, that's cool. Before you guys leave or take off, Cash does kind of like motion for you, for one of you to kind of like lean in closer, or if he can kind of talk to you for a second.
I'll like pop out of my mech.
Cool. As you kind of come up to him, he goes, "Hey, I didn't mention this before, but so I actually have some lay of the land, and I think," and he pulls out a map and hands it to you, like an actual physical map. This might be useful for some side routes. I think you're probably heading to your FOB up ahead, right? This stuff might help you get there a little bit quicker.
Oh, thanks.
And as El Diablo and Ash are having this conversation, El Diablo, you feel a little tug at the side of your uniform or whatever you're kind of wearing right now.
Yeah, okay. I like look over.
Yeah. You look down and you see a young girl who's a little bit shy. She kind of looks up at you, and she just kind of holds out a stuffed rabbit at you.
Oh, that's all right, little lady. You don't need to give me your toy.
He kept me safe, just like you kept me safe.
I know, and that rabbit needs you to keep it safe. So you keep it safe for me. How about that?
I think I'm gonna be just fine now. I want you to have him.
Oh, well, all right. Okay. Thank you.
And she hands you the rabbit and kind of like skips back to like her mom, who kind of like hugs her, and her mom waves back at you.
Yeah, I wave over kind of awkwardly, like I don't know what to do with this. Thank you, ma'am, and little lady. All right.
You should have been like, "I don't need the rabbit to keep me safe. That's what my gun is for."
That's a weird thing to say to a child, man.
I don't know if you know how to talk to kids.
Yeah, I don't know if you meant to be on open comms on that one, but that's a weird thing to say to a kid, man. All right, well, hey, you stay shaking, bacon, and I'll see you later. And I take the map and I'm scanning it, and I like try and use my. Can I use my cybernetic implant here? My
Hell yeah, absolutely.
eye implant to upload the
schematics or the
route.
The map.
Yeah,
the map route.
The map notes and routes into everybody's computer.
Yeah. So I won't reveal fully what this does just yet, but you guys will find out soon enough. But the routes do kind of like show you like quicker side passages that you didn't have available just from the maps, like the orbital maps that Rio was sending you. So they definitely make the trek easier to get back to Fob Saber. So, but the well-loved stuffed rabbit that the girl gave you, it is a lucky charm that acts as a single-use version of the custom paint job system, which you can find on page 120. I think.
Sweet. So I'm gonna tie it to like the outside of my mech then.
Yeah. That's perfect. Do you already have a custom paint job, or is this your first?
No. This is my first custom paint job.
Great. Perfect.
Anything. I have other stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of neat because like if you did already have a custom paint job, it could be used in tandem with it.
Yeah, you can double
and-
up.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
it can double up.
basically-
It stacks.
Yeah, then the charm
That's
can be
nice.
it can instead be expended to automatically set the result of a custom paint job rolled to 6. So it's basically just like it just does what it is. Instead of rolling for it, it just kind of works as like a one-time use thing. So
Oh, cool.
because the mechanics of the custom paint job, I can pull that up here. It's on page 120. It kind of lets you shuck off some damage, right?
I
Mhm.
think so, yeah, if I'm remembering right.
Roll like a d6. If you get a 6, you don't take the structure damage and end up at 1 HP, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So that's what this does. It kind of lets you kind of double up on that. And both of those items are what you get for the PC victory, essentially, the outcome. So yeah.
Cool. So I think it's with that good deed done, we keep making our way to the forward operating base.
Yeah. So, yeah. And what I can do is I can kind of narrate this next kind of beginning part, and then we can take a quick break after that and come back and kind of resume if we want to do that.
Sounds good to me.
Cool. All right. So let's see. Let me make sure this is all set up. Okay. Let me go ahead and start reading this. Ahead of you, while following the routes of the map that Cash gave you, ahead of you, you have to pass through a train depot. Let me go ahead and kind of pull that up on the map real quick.
They still use trains in the future.
Of course they use trains in the future.
Trains are literally the perfect form of transportation.
Yeah,
This panel also has all the Union future tech.
Yeah,
absolutely superior nature of train transportation.
yeah, trains are badass.
Yeah,
It's very un-American of you.
I know.
Yes,
Thank you.
I will take the compliment.
So ahead of you, so you kind of like start approaching this train depot, and perched aboard a train car is a mechanized chassis. Did I say that right? Chassis. All right,
Chassis.
mechanized chassis, outfitted with missile launchers. You might recognize this as a Rainmaker type of mech. And as you kind of spot.
Sorry, just like that mech on top of this very old.
I agree, Justin. It's a very funny image to me too.
I'm doing my best to provide.
I know. I'm sorry for interrupting. Please continue.
I'm proud of my white bus on an orange background and my mechanized,
I think
colorful
you
mech
should be.
on my
I think
old
you should
train.
be. You could be.
I was just laughing at the name Rainmaker.
Oh man! Look, when you take your time to prepare, there's only so much time, and you have to make sacrifices.
Fair enough.
Anywho, so you see this mechanized chassis outfitted with missile launchers on top of this train. Above you, another Union dropship flies overhead. It looks to be part of a new wave dispatched from the Rio Grande. Clearly, they've made it farther than you guys did when you first were trying to come in. However, you look up with horror as this dropship flies over this mech, and it unloads missiles at it. And because of the comm jamming and everything, you don't really have any time to patch in a message, and you just see it just get shot down and it crashes ahead. The mech then crawls behind the train and waits in hiding for the next dropship to kind of appear. And you do see the dropship crash in the distance, and a plume of smoke just kind of rise up. So, yeah, that's where you guys are currently at. As you kind of look ahead, you see other mechs are deployed near the missile battery as well, arrayed in defensive positions throughout the depot. If you're going to reach the forward operating base, you're probably going to have to clear this out before you get there. And that's where we are. Before we start the next combat, we'll go ahead and take a quick break and come right back and see how our players, our pilots, will deal with the next wave. So
Cool.
Stay
We'll see you
tuned.
guys in just a little bit.
Woo woo.
Welcome back to the ABCs of RPGs, where we teach you the basics of tabletop role-playing games. I'm Spencer, the game master for our session of Lancer, in which we're playing the campaign Solstice Reign. I'm, of course, joined by my players, Dalton.
Hi, I'm Dalton. I have he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Kish Lark, codename Backfire, also he, him pronouns today. Justin, you're up next.
I'm playing Rico, Manitoba. His call sign is El Diablo. And his pronouns are he, him. Did I miss anything?
No, Chris.
Oh, yeah, Chris, you're up next.
Yep. And Chris, character is K. Brackeen, codename Hailstorm. He have pronouns for player and character. Yeah.
Ash is our she plays Python. She is convinced that there is a sentient alien race that are penguins, but everybody thinks that she is absolutely making that up. She had to work tonight, so she's not here today. But
Rico does not think that she's making it up. Oh,
Rico believes her.
Rico believes he saw something.
Last but not least, we have Mr. Michael Nye.
Hey, I'm Mike. I'm playing as Mumtaz Kakmak, aka Mothman. I'm here for our fire support, trying to make sure everybody gets home.
Hey,
Yeah. So we just escorted some civilians to a safe zone. We've been making our way to Forward Operating Base Saber when we came across a missile-toting mech on a train shooting down some ships, right, Spencer?
yeah, some of your Union drop ships trying to head. You can probably see Forward Operating Base Saber in the back, like in the background. But this artillery mech, this Rainmaker, is clearly not allowing any drop ships to make it through. So yeah, so that's where you guys are. You have this artillery unit kind of shooting down your drop ships on the way to Forward Operating Base Saber, and that's going to be our next combat of the session. So you guys should see this new map on here. Everybody can see that? Great. This is a little bit different. This one doesn't have a specific set sit rep. I know we discussed sit reps before where, they'll have different conditions. The last one we did was the holdout, which had like specific 6 rounds. Don't let anybody within this zone. This one is just eliminate the enemy Rainmaker and any other mechs that are here. So I'll go ahead. Let me put them on the board. I mentioned last time that there are a certain amount of mechs depending on how many players there are. So I did eliminate the mechs that would have been here if Python was here. By the way, I meant to say this earlier, but I like to imagine that maybe Python stayed behind. She was like, I'm gonna make sure that these civilians are a-okay, so I'm gonna stay with them and protect them for a little bit. I'll catch up with you guys later. So that's where she is narratively right now. So
They had a rock wall at the crisis center that she wanted to try out.
yeah.
He likes climbing. He likes to climb.
Yeah.
She likes to climb. Call sign Python. So, yeah. So go ahead. This mission begins with every enemy on the board. So there's no reinforcements. You guys know where the enemies are on the board. Go ahead and arrange yourselves either in player deployment zone A, or if you look to the right side of the map, there is a deployment zone B. I believe only one of you can deploy there. Yes, one PC can deploy to that deployment zone because that is unlocked since you successfully escorted the bus. So that's why that's unlocked over there. So if one of you want to deploy in that player deployment zone B on the right side of the map, you are more than welcome to. So
I mean, I'm close combat. That puts me a lot closer. So that is helpful for me. If somebody can get over to the crane control zone, I might be able to just like dash right in.
I can also give you some information on the mechs that you currently see on the map because that may inform the way you deploy. So this right here is a Rainmaker. If you guys see that in the middle here, that's the one that you saw shot down the mech, or the dropship from before.
Marked in.
Yes, marked in red. He's marked red because he is a veteran Rainmaker. That means he has 1 extra bonus structure and stress. So that's something to note. He also gets additional abilities that I'm not going to reveal unless you guys scan him. So next to him right here is a sentinel with the yellow dot representing that he is a commander unit. Commander units also get an extra structure and stress, but on top of that, they have additional abilities to kind of like help, like within line of sight, kind of command units to do different stuff. And they get extra bonuses with that. Let me double check. I want to make sure he's not the special. No, that's the other one. Okay. So just going down the line here, this guy in the back here, in the top right, if you guys see him, this is a Spectre unit. So these guys are always invisible. If you guys are unfamiliar with the invisible tagline, I believe it just half the time it's... let me double check the specific... Yeah.
Any attack against it has a 50% chance to miss with that.
Yeah. So that is the trickiest part about him. You guys probably know that even though it's hard to hit, it's not super strong, because
we still know it's there, right? Like we know which hex it's in, but mechanically it's just more difficult to hit.
Great question. Yes. So there is a difference between invisible enemies, which is this. It's just 50-50 shot to hit it, and hidden enemies. Hidden enemies you can't target. Now, you can take a quick action to hide on your turn, and you can reasonably kind of like hide and stuff. You have to like have certain conditions to do that. He can just take the turn. He can just take a quick action to hide anytime he wants. That's part of like, as an invisible character, you can just do that.
Gotcha.
However, while he may be hiding, he can still be hit by like area of effect attacks and stuff like that. So if you know generally where he's at, he's still going to take damage. You just can't target him if he's hiding. But he is permanently invisible. Yeah. So, right here, just to the in between him and the commander, just to the south of them, that is a hive mech. You fought these in the last match. They're the control-y kind of missile shooter kind of stuff. It doesn't appear to have the cloud around it. So if you remember, there was a range 3 cloud that it had before. It doesn't have that now. So it might have other stuff. So continuing down that path, there is another sentinel down here. It's the same mech as the commander one, but it's tagged with a blue dot. And the reason why it's tagged with a blue dot here is you guys know that it is a elite sentinel. Now, elites also get an extra bonus to structure and stress, but they get to take 2 turns per round.
What?
That is a special condition that they have. Sentinel mechs in general are close combat kind of people. They like to get up in your face and kind of prevent you from moving and doing Overwatch. That's like their specialty. They can like make you slow and do Overwatch type deal stuff. So that is something to note, that this elite up here also can take 2 turns per round. So keep that in mind.
And
there's only one. Yeah, go ahead.
When you say that, like they can activate twice in a round?
Yes. So let me specifically, I'll just go ahead and read that because I know that's confusing. The elite takes 2 separate turns each round.
Yep.
Yeah.
And did you say, does he have extra
yes,
structure and stress?
Yes. Everybody with a dot has an extra structure and stress. Yes. So you have to get through their health and then get through it again unless
they roll poorly.
Yes. In the top right up here, this is the last mech, or sorry, top left. I know my directions. Top left, this is an archer mech. That's what that is. They're just good at shooting from afar and reacting to movement. So that's what they're all about. But hopefully that kind of helps you guys understand the battlefield a little bit better as you're kind of like approaching. Narratively, I always like to think that as you're entering mech combat, you may not know what reinforcements are coming in, but maybe you kind of like scan the area, and this is what you're able to kind of pick up so far. So, yeah.
I think so. And then, so the crane control.
Yes. Thank you for asking.
While inside the zone, spend 1 quick action to destroy a marked wagon. The marked wagon's the one that have like the lift here symbol on them.
Correct. Yeah. The wording was really weird. In the campaign, it kind of made it seem like you could only do that once, but I think it, like it says on the map right there, you can just use as many quick actions as you want to kind of like move stuff out of the way. So, because as you can see, those are like, just imagine they're like train carts. So they're height 3, so they're pretty big and bulky. It just opens up the area and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You may also notice that there's a fleet control panel that you see up ahead. That controls this right here, this train with the Rainmaker on it. So currently he has a height 3 train in front of him, but that panel you can see might do something to that plate, might be able to rotate it. So yeah, and that's the lowdown of kind of the combat encounter that we have lined up.
Okay. So yeah, El Diablo, you were going to deploy over in the special zone.
I was thinking about it, unless somebody that lets me get this. I can get the close-up units. I can occupy them while people push forward toward the control panel.
Yeah.
Seems good.
I think so. I think that should be fine. The only other thing I could think of is maybe put Mothman there and he could just like bombard stuff. But it feels
the
weird
guy
to
who's
separate
on his
him.
deathbed by himself.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm okay with not being over there personally.
There is like enough. There's 3 hexes. I can also watch Mothman's back.
No,
I think
only
one
one
specifically allowed us can be over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with El Diablo deploying there.
Also, I don't have my howitzer. I cannot bombard things.
That's a good point. Yes.
I have the big artillery, but I think Spencer said we get a shot with that.
Yeah, that's a one-time use thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. What page was that? Was that 52, I believe? Yes. So page 52 is what it's at. It is a range 30 within line of sight, blast 2, 3 to 6 explosive damage. So it's pretty big. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, so Mothman, you're going to be on the lookout for. We're going to try and group some of them up a little bit.
Ooh.
I don't know. What do you think we want to do strategy-wise before we kind of get started? Do we want like people to just charge up the middle? Do we want one person to go over to the crane control?
Yeah, I think getting someone on the crane is probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that since I'll have.
I mean, do we want Mothman to maybe be on crane duty since like he'll have?
Yeah, that might be good for Mothman to be on crane duty, and he can move stuff around the battlefield if needed, and stay out of the direct fray. We should also make sure that we're relatively split up, because what the main baddie has explosive powers.
Never mind.
So we think maybe like Mothman go over to the crane control zone, Hailstorm and Backfire charge down the middle, and El Diablo do some flanking.
Yeah, I think that's.
Anybody else?
Good.
Okay. We have some amount of plan.
You know how long those last.
Yep.
Especially in war. All right. And with that, let's go ahead and begin the combat. As always, players go first. So one of you guys nominate who you would like to go ahead and go first. And then the enemies will go, and then we'll go back and forth. So.
Probably Hailstorm or I wants to go first, right?
Yeah, I can just go first real quick since it's running up. In which case... 10, yep. So, run and boost.
Speed in ahead, yeah.
Yep. So now it's an enemy's turn.
Okay, great. Yeah. So probably who's gonna go next is this Sentinel Elite. He's gonna, let's see here. He can move 5, so he'll move, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I believe he'll just go ahead and boost to try to get to you. Let's see here. Okay. Damage by signals off watch. Okay. Yep. So he'll boost 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So he kind of closes in on ya. So he boosted to you. And his main weapon, he has a main weapon. You can use main weapons in a skirmish, right? It's just one weapon attack. Yeah. So he'll use, well, he closed in really close to you, so he's gonna use his retractable sword against you. So he rolls a d20 with +2 to the attack. Does a 12 beat your evasion?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so you take 4 kinetic damage as he slams his retractable sword into you, and that's the end of his turn. So go ahead and nominate who you want to go next, Chris.
Let's go ahead and have Backfire go.
Okay. 5 and 10. What did we say was climbing? Like to get to height 1, I need to spend 2 movement.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just half, yeah.
And can you fall for free?
Yes.
Okay. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Okay, and that's fine. So I'm gonna move, and I'm going to use my I'm just gonna do it right away. I'm gonna activate my core system.
Okay, let's go.
So for the rest of this scene, I get +1 accuracy on all attacks, checks, and saves. And additionally, once per turn, I can boost as a free action. So I use my 4 movement, and I'm going to activate my core power and use my free boost.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to barrage.
All right.
So I believe I'm in 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I'm close enough to use my thermal lance and my shotgun.
Let's go.
So thermal lance is up first. We'll say. So with my thermal lance, got 1 accuracy. So 1d20 plus 1d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an 11.
11. Okay. That beats it, though. Because it was evade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be against
Okay.
its evasion.
Cool.
So that'll be 1d6 plus 3 damage.
Mm-hmm.
For 7 energy damage.
Nice. It does have 1 armor, so it takes 1 of that, and it just takes 6 damage. So great.
yeah, and then I will have taken 2 heat from that. And then the shotgun will be another just D20 roll with 1 accuracy. With an 8 to hit. Will that hit?
8 does hit.
8 also hits.
Nice.
That
Yeah.
Sucks. Okay. A shotgun is just 1d6 of damage. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into threat range, but 2 kinetic damage from the shotgun.
2 kinetic damage. So absorbed 1, but still minuses the other. So great.
Got 2 heat. Free. Okay. I think that is it for my turn. So
Okay.
I took, movement, core power, free boost, and I did a barrage as a full action.
Perfect. This little hive guy is going to start moving in. So he'll move. I think his move is 5. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boost 1. Whoops, that was 2. 3, 4, 5. So he kind of like pops around this little corner here. And this is a cone of 5 that he wants to do. Because he wants to skirmish to use his main Nexus weapon. It's a cone of 5, which I believe would only hit Chris. So it's only gonna try to attack Chris, and it's a smart weapon. So he's gonna roll with +1 attack bonus, +1 accuracy against your E defense, Chris.
Sounds good.
+1 plus D6. It does a 13.
Yep, that
Okay, so you take, let's see here. It is just 3 kinetic damage, and he has locked on to you. So you have the lock-on condition currently. And that is his turn. So Dalton, would Backfire like to nominate the next person to go next?
Yeah, Mothman, you're up.
I can do that. So I'm going to activate my core power.
All right, 2 core powers in the first round. Let's go.
I mean, yeah, I'll reserve my calling myself metagaming, but yes, I'm metagaming right when I see that.
This might be the big final battle before.
Yeah, I mean, like if I can see the forward operating base from here, I'm hoping that, like, I'm putting everything I have into this fight, knowing that if I make it out, I can probably make it to the forwarding operating base.
I'm sorry, there was something else I should have told you guys at the beginning. Part of the victory conditions, the victory condition obviously is just to eliminate all the mechs. If you do it within 5 rounds, something bonus might happen. And I can't narratively explain that. I'll just say that, like, as a game master, that something else might happen, okay? So
Don't tease me with that. Now I'm gonna be...
by the end of the 5th round.
I'm gonna get myself killed.
Sorry to
to win
win that.
fast.
Nothing will happen if you do it in 5 rounds. Nothing.
So I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't make it to the crane control zone yet with my boost. There's a free boost because I use my core power. I don't really have anything else that I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you used a free boost for your core power, you don't have much else. You may as well, like, quick action boost, quick action.
But I can't. Can I? Because I can only boost one.
As a free action.
Yes,
Wait,
yeah.
free action.
Okay, then hell yeah, I'm definitely getting in the.
Pain control zone. And then you should have that quick action still to operate it, right? So
Yep, I do have a quick action to operate it, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna lift. Am I moving it or just like lifting it, or is it destroy?
it just moves it from the battlefield. It won't affect characters on the battlefield anymore.
But like, can I put it back?
Sure.
Like, can I lift it up and then like put it back down later if I need to?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I'm gonna lift
Maybe ask-
this guy.
double check with
Okay.
Diablo that's the one.
That's the one you want to move, right?
Yeah. That one. Well, everything's kind of gone a little bit different direction than I thought it was going to go. So just
Okay, so I'm gonna lift that so he now has a clear path. And to reiterate, can El Diablo is this guy hidden or invisible? More specifically,
invisible. So
invisible.
I have a 50% shot at missing him.
okay.
He is not hiding yet.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use another free action in comms range to El Diablo.
Mhm.
And what is the exact? I'm going to use my leadership thing to issue an order to go attack that guy.
Ah, yeah.
That will give you an accuracy die, assuming you listen to my order when you do
Yeah.
that action.
Cool. Awesome.
El Diablo
Hopefully that
ran
helps
back
your-
like, I can do
Oh,
that.
Roger, that's your 50-50 chance.
I was gonna do that anyway, but sure thing, boss.
Yeah, but now I can take credit for it. Yeah.
You got it, House.
True.
Yeah, that's my that is my now turn.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Enemies are gonna go next. It's gonna be this Rainmaker. The veteran Rainmaker is going to go next. So the biggest thing is he has some missiles. And let's see here.
Oh, does he now?
I thought we
He
knew
does.
that.
Oh, where is that? Okay. So he is going to do, that's a quick action. So his first thing is, does he want to do that first? I think he wants to do that first.
Yes, he does, Spencer.
Okay. Okay, sorry. So his first thing is he shoots missile pods at you, Chris. So these are smart seeking weapons with a range of 8. So first off, let me make sure you're within range. Are you within 8 range? No, you're not. He can't do it. He can't do it.
Yay!
Good to know that we know that he has 8 range on those missile pods.
What? No. No. What? No.
What? Maybe. It's classified.
It's classified.
Titan like calls in. He's like, I scanned him. It's 8 range on those missile pods.
Okay, well, I didn't think this out. he does that. With
I'm glad the sobriety or whatever is as bad at planning as we are.
Yeah. The sovereignty, yeah.
Sovereignty.
Variety.
Yeah,
No.
the Lyrian sobriety.
I'm too excited.
Oh, great. Okay, well, he can't really do anything. His turn, I kind of messed up his turn. Oh, that's fine. Oh, this is fine. We're fine here. Everything's fine. He will still do, well, he can boost. He'll boost. No, I don't want him to do that. He will instead, as a quick action, 3 spaces within line of sight. All right, so that's not really line of sight. Probably right here is line of sight, right? I'm trying to think of, he only sees the corner. Nah, screw it. Okay, forget it. He boosts. 1, 2, 3. Gets over near this archer. And then he still is too far away. But that's okay. You want to know why that's okay? Within line of sight, he shoots up some javelin rockets. Within a range of 20, he chooses 3 spaces. And basically, within those 3 spaces, which I'll mark here in a second, they are auto-tracking rockets just kind of like in the air. And the next time a hostile character moves through it or starts their turn in or passes above one of the chosen spaces, they are hit by a rocket, taking 5 kinetic damage. Each space can only be triggered once. The effect lasts until the end of the Rainmaker's next turn. So I'll go ahead and mark... He'll do... Let's see, of 20. So here... Yep, here... And here. Yeah, he marks those 3 spaces. So if you enter into that, his missiles will kind of come down and hit you. So be careful. And that's his turn.
Spencer,
Yeah.
for reference, line of sight in this game is being able to draw a line from anywhere in your hex to anywhere at the target. Like a straight
it.
line.
So I guess he could stay behind this like wall here and probably put him right here.
Yeah, I would say because you could draw like a line like that,
Yeah.
and like you're there, and it goes through like this hex. You'd obviously see the other 2 hexes.
I'm gonna say he does what I said anyways. He'll just go ahead, stay there, shoots his javelins up.
Cool.
So cool. All right, that's my turn. Mothman went last. Mothman, would you like to nominate the last person to go?
No, I don't.
Yeah, because
He doesn't go
once El Diablo goes, we're about to get like blasted by like 4 more enemy turns.
Yeah, so I am going to activate my core system. I am also going to use my initiative feature, which lets me take any quick action as a free action. So I am going to boost for free. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's out of the way. And then I am going to use my initiative feature to quick action boost again for free. 1. Oh yeah, well I have boosters, so I can put 1, 2. That's 8.
Wait, you boosted twice?
Yeah, it's free action.
Yeah, he used his core power too. Everybody's using their core power right now.
But why does he need to boost twice?
Because I have initiative, so the thing you get for the Everest. Once per scene, the Everest can take any quick action as a free action.
Yeah, but why do you need to boost? You can just walk. You have movement.
Because
Right?
I pop up and over on my boosters, man.
I think
He wants to boost. Let the boy boost.
what Mothman is saying is the obstacle isn't really in the way because it's gone.
Well, these are still in the way, aren't they? If he's like 3 or whatever.
Sure.
I like to think he just kind of flies over him. Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
So it's not just this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You still have your movement.
I do. So before I take my movement, though, I am going to, as a, I'm going to name that person my field. Whatchamacallit? Wait, Mike, the moving the freight lets me do that because I get line of sight when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that was useful. But yeah, then I am going to use what's it called? Oh yeah, exemplar. to mark them, and then so if somebody misses, they can re-roll an attack on them.
Nice. Are you able to use that too, or is it just anybody else?
No, it's other people.
Got it. Okay.
Kidding.
That'll happen after I attack. So I am going to. Actually, yeah, screw it. I will take my movement and I will move one step closer, and I will use my heavy mounted blade, my charge blade, as part of a barrage attack. Does a 17 hit?
Oh my gosh. Well, let's go ahead and flip a coin real quick to make sure that you can hit.
Good. All right. Well.
But I'm pretty sure that would.
Oh, or do you flip a coin before you?
I mean, I
Yeah.
can double check.
I mean,
but-
you can do it either way technically, but since you already have a 50% chance of missing, you might as well do it first. See the attack.
Yeah.
Either roll.
Well, I disagree.
Right.
It depends on how mean of a DM you want to be, because of the fact, like, he has that accuracy roll. He only gets it once. So, if he was going to miss, then Justin would have saved that accuracy roll for the next attack.
Hmm.
If you
No, I gain an accuracy on all attacks.
well, I gave you an accuracy die.
Yeah, so technically you should be rolling with 2 accuracy.
Well, he doesn't have to use it if he has
have
a second attack.
Yeah.
Actually, he just doesn't have to use it. But that's besides the point. I'm just saying, in points like that, that would matter if he hits. If we know the results of that coin flip beforehand,
Yeah.
because that would specifically.
Since I'm getting 1d6 anyway, I was probably gonna save that for like the bigger guy like this.
You can't.
It was.
It's only this turn.
You have to order. Now, being said, you can give it. It's not only this turn. It is for doing what I say. So I told you to attack this guy. So you can only use it to attack this guy. You don't use it, and I get it back, and it's not wasted.
Oh, okay.
But that's the only thing it can be used for.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I'm still gonna attack him anyway.
But that's why I'm saying it would matter for that die if we knew the results of flipping before or after, because that would determine whether or not Justin would use the extra accuracy die.
Yes, fair enough.
So what's the coin flip?
Yeah, since you need to.
Roll a d6 and then choose odds or evens.
Probably do that other way around. Right?
You,
Pick odds or evens and then.
yeah, pick odds or evens and then roll.
Heads I win, tails you lose.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll a d2, and then heads is 1 and tails is 2.
Cool.
What? But
Heads is good.
heads is good? Okay.
Okay,
Heads.
cool. That's a head.
Great, you hit him.
Sweet.
And that 17 passes the check.
All right. And it's armor piercing if he has any armor.
He does not, but that's good to know.
1d6.
It'd be super nice if this just took him out immediately. We'd have to deal with this anymore.
Ugh. 4.
4. Okay. Okay. You sink 4 damage into him. He's still standing.
Okay, and then I'm gonna unload my prototype weapon at him.
Yeah.
Um,
Roll D2.
so roll a d2.
I just
Head, same deal. Head's good, tails bad. 1, 2,
Yeah.
heads, tails. Oh,
it's a heads.
so I will also use the I will use the second accuracy on this one.
Let's do it. So yeah, roll both those D6s, choose the higher one to add to the roll.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, that hits, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it does. All right, roll your damage.
All right.
So Justin, just heads up that you did get a critical hit because you rolled above a 20.
Oh, so is that 2d6 then?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
double the damage dice and keep the highest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Another 6 damage.
6 damage. Justin, he had 10 health.
Oh, so that's he's dead.
He's gone. How do you?
Fucking invisible mechanics.
Yeah.
You surprise attack the invisible dude and wiped him off the map.
Yeah, I come in and then I wait for him to phase in and I stab him down with my blade, and then as he's pinned down, my chest cannon opens and it's just like that's the sound it makes.
It makes the noise. It makes the Inception trailer noise.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It makes the Inception trailer noise, and then and then it's just kind of a smoldering wreckage.
Oh man,
That's cool.
amazing. Is there anything else you can do on your turn, or?
No, that was like I did a lot of stuff. I think.
You did do a lot of stuff. I just wanted to double check.
You still have your movement.
No, he uses.
Yeah, I do. I have like 3 movement left.
Yeah.
First body, 1, 2, and 3
Great.
coming. So you know what?
I would
Now,
maybe take cover instead of that.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, and 3, and be there.
Great. Okay, cool. So, and with that, the rest of the NPCs are going to take their turns. So,
Did the invisible guy even have a turn?
no.
No.
Cool.
No,
That's
I
cool.
took a good move. Yeah, my character can do a fair amount of Nova damage.
Yeah. Oh man, you just snuck in the side and just wiped him off the map. That was amazing. All right, so this archer guy, he can move 5. So let's see here. So if he boosts, that's 10. I'm trying to think if he can get to the top of this height 3 item.
It would take 6 movement to get on top of it.
So he'll boost to get on top.
I
Wait,
thought
is that right?
last week or 2 weeks ago we said you can climb up like one thing above you, but I thought we said there was something different if it was like 2 or more.
Is that the case?
I think I was wrong about that. Where did that go?
But I'm not crazy. We did say something.
Yeah, we had there was a discussion about it. So,
Page 863? Yeah.
yeah, characters with legs can jump instead of their standard move. Like moving through difficult terrain, characters climb at half their usual speed. Each space moved is equivalent to moving 2 spaces normally. A successful hull or agility check might be required to climb particularly difficult surfaces without flying. Or without falling.
Yeah.
So, for example, a size 1 mech could jump up to 1 space high and 1 space over. Characters that jump and end the move, jump midair, automatically fall at the end of their turn. I think we might have just been mixing up, like being only able to jump so high with being able to climb so high.
Yeah.
I would be curious, like we're saying that they can climb partially and stay partially and then boost the rest of the way. I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. So if it's a height 3, that means it's 3 spaces up, but requires 6 movement in order to climb on top of it, right?
Yes.
Because it's double your
That's
movement. So he boosts, so he can move 10 with boosting. So he's gonna get like on top right on this corner up here. And let's see here. He is probably going to attack Chris.
Man, I'm just getting bullied.
Yeah.
You are getting bullied. You move first into the combat, so everybody's like, attack him. He's a range of 10 on his main cannon. Oh, wait, no, hold on. He is going to do a quick action instead called Suppress. He chooses a target in line of sight, range 10. You become impaired, and the archer gains the moving target reaction. And what that does is the moving target is if you start to move, he can interrupt your movement with a single weapon attack.
Yeah.
So, and that was his, because he boosted and then he did that as a quick action. That's all he can do. So he's just kind of got his eyes on you, kind of trained and everything. And that's his turn. I marked you with a little bullseye symbol for the lock-on condition, by the way. I was trying to see if lock-on only lasts like a round or anything. It doesn't say it ever expires. It just says consume it.
Yeah, I think it's until it's used.
Okay. While we're over here, let's just go ahead and have the Sentinel take his second turn this round. So he is going to just probably, let's see here. So he's going to activate a quick action called Eyes of Midnight. He becomes slowed, but now he can take Overwatch once per turn instead of once per round. And it lasts until he deactivates it as a quick action. So he kind of slows himself down, but now he can do basically Overwatch once per turn now. So
the guy marked in blue.
Yes, correct. Right next to Chris right now. Yeah. Or sorry, Hailstorm. He is then going to do, he's just gonna hit you with his retractable sword again, or attempt to hit you with his retractable sword again. And I don't think that's gonna hit you.
Nope.
Yeah, because he just has. Yep. Nope. Definitely doesn't hit you. That's the elite Sentinel's turn right there. The only one we have left now is the Sentinel Commander up here, because that spectator is dead. So he is going to probably move. Gosh, he doesn't do well over here. Okay, so he's gonna probably move and boost. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he moved 10. And then he is going to, let's see. Oh, that's a protocol, so we can't do that. Okay, so that's all he can do. He's not close enough to do anything else. So that's the end of the round. First round has ended. So now we're going back to the beginning of the second round, returning to the player's movement again. So, Justin, El Diablo moved last, right? So you get to tell me.
Nye, how many times can you do that commander thingy?
I have 3 die. I used 1 last combat. I just used 1, but I need to double check this, but I'm pretty sure I have 2 things in engineering was my boost, so I get like 1 additional thing for like skill use, like limited skill uses. So anything that I'm supposed to only have 3 of, I actually have 4.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking about nominating you, and we can mark this guy right here. And next turn, you can nominate me, and I can go in and just start whopping on this guy.
Okay.
I don't know how that sounds to everybody.
The only thing I would say to that is that Hailstorm is beset on all sides by a bunch of people and might want to act before all of those people surrounding him get a chance to hurt him.
Yeah, okay, that works for me too.
I don't know if Chris agrees.
I mean, I can try. I can't really do anything because between the Sentinel Overwatch and the Missile Overwatch, I'm just gonna get obliterated.
The only thing I think I'd be able to do with like going first is like at the moment before any movement happens, the Hive and the is he a Vanguard, Spencer?
Sentinel, but yeah, he's all close range.
The Hive and the Sentinel are both in a line, and I could thermal lance the both of them.
Hmm.
Oh.
That's cool.
Actually,
The lance goes through objects and such.
I'll go real quick because I can just fire both my launchers.
Go for it.
Cool. So I'm targeting this. Man, why I can never get it to like. There we go. I'm just gonna target this. Yeah. Well, because I thought it used to like do it on double click, but maybe I was wrong.
I just hold it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is what it is. So that's height 1.
Mm-hmm.
That'll get me. I'm trying to figure out like the blast radius because it's blast 2,
Yeah,
and I don't have line of sight to that, right? Because like height 1 blocks it.
I believe so. Yeah.
Just like I'm just trying to find like a spot where I can ideally hit like them without hitting myself.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
Well, you could probably shoot this hex up here, and it's a blast
Yeah.
too. That would hit them both, I think.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So you're hitting the Hive and the Sentinel Commander up here.
yeah, and I think. So I'm at 2 difficulty, 1 for impaired, and then 1 for firing ranged weapon and melee.
Mm-hmm.
So yellow guy
Oof.
Oh.
did that.
I don't think that worked.
I think
Yeah.
it's one at the end. Keep highest 1.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
Take it
Yeah.
to a 7.
Even though he's subtracting?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You have 2 difficult?
The Hive. Yeah, so ranged weapons while you're engaged in melee is 1 difficulty, and then I got impaired by like the Overwatch guy
Gotcha.
for an extra difficulty. Cool. That's it.
Yeah, the Hive. No, that doesn't beat its defense. So yeah. Well, let's see here. This commander, is that who I want to move next? Yeah. No, we'll do this Rainmaker. So the Rainmaker up here, let's see here. What's his line of sight? No, he's not going to move. Okay, yeah. The Sentinel Commander is going to move 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And sorry. Before he moves, he does a protocol. It's called Quick March. 1 ally character within line of sight of the commander may boost. So he does that, and the Hive is gonna boost. He's gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he backs up right there. Commander stays right there, and then I don't think. Let's see here. That was his quick action. Let's see here. He is probably going to try to invade. No, he's not. Nobody's in line of sight, so.
I'm assuming I'm no longer impaired because it was him. Oh, wait, was it the archer doing it?
It was the archer that did it, yes. So basically,
You didn't take
effect
his turn
lasts
yet,
until
so
the archer uses moving target. The target damages the archer or leaves the archer's line of sight. The archer is stunned, jammed, or destroyed. The archer chooses a new target for this action, or the archer ends it as a free action. So those are all the things.
It's around.
Oh, sorry. I should have clarified.
No, you're good. I was just double checking.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Cool. Sorry. That's the end of the commander's turn.
Let me go. Let me go.
Yeah, I
We're
think
all pretty
yes.
close together.
Yes, Mothman should definitely go. They've made a fatal error by standing next to each other. The fools.
I'm moving up a little bit just out of where I was. And then I'm gonna use a full action to let me find it, to use my bombardment, which is a range 30. I need a line of sight, but that's why I moved, so I should have line of sight with right where I marked.
Yeah, looks pretty reasonable.
Oh fuck, it's blast 2. Thought it was blast 3. Okay, hold on. Can I hit all of them? I don't think I can get them all.
Yeah, I don't think there's a spot where you can get all 4 of them, but you would get 3 of them.
Yeah. Who are you choosing?
Move it 1 to the left. There. Right there.
Okay. And that hits everybody but the Rainmaker veteran at the top?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is 3d6 explosive damage, but I think I have to roll.
Yeah, that's the artillery strike, right? So,
Is there even an attack roll?
let me look.
So in what I'm saying,
Range, satellite sight. It doesn't
it just says 3d6 explosive damage.
say attack roll.
No, you're good. It makes sense. I mean, like, I have grenades that don't have an attack roll. They just deal an amount of damage.
Also, when you're just in an just an artillery blast, you can't really.
Yeah, much bigger than like handheld weapons.
I'm rolling individually for each of them, right?
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna start with the guy on the left.
Archer.
11.
Oh my god. 11.
I think it's the 5 is on the left on the bottom.
Correct.
Also 11. And
The commander.
the commander.
Yeah, Commander Sentinel.
Do it again.
Only 7.
Well,
Okay. He has 1 armor, so 1 is absorbed, so he might 6 damage. Okay. Whew.
Still, that's a lot of damage. I'm surprised the 5 is still up. I thought they had less health than 11.
No, not hives.
And
But since the archer got damaged, I'm no longer impaired now, right?
Correct.
Cool.
I'm gonna use my free action to boost
Boost!
inside the cranes. I'm pretty sure I'm undercover there.
Yeah, I would argue that.
And I'll use another free action to give El Diablo another issue command die to go after the
don't do it, because I'm not gonna be able to get to him to do it.
You don't have to use it this turn.
Oh, okay. I thought
Pretty sure. It just says
I think El Diablo just holds on to it until he chooses to use it or give it back.
they may either expend the leadership die to gain +1 accuracy on any action that directly follows from the order, or they may return to you as a free action. Which lasts until used or the end of the current scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a bardic
Yeah.
inspiration type thing.
Yeah, just I'm gonna order you at your convenience. Please go after the Rainmaker.
Here. Roger.
That is an order. Please do it.
Roger. Oh. Okay. At the end of Mothman's turn, the veteran Rainmaker is going to go. So he has a move of 3. 1, 2, 3. And he is going to consume the lock on that's on you, Chris. And what he does is that when attacking characters with lock on, the Rainmaker's weapons gain smart, seeking, and armor piercing. So he is going to shoot some missile pods at you.
Wait, what does it do? It gets smart,
Yeah, smart, seeking, and armor piercing.
seeking, and armor piercing. Damn.
Yes. So, oh wait, characters code 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. No, that's not. Okay. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. Yep. So he's sorry. He's gonna resolve the missile pods thing first. So. Let's see here. He does. Yep. So 18 to hit.
Nice. Oh wait, no.
No, that's
I
against
think
Chris.
that hits. Yeah,
Okay.
I do believe that hits. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, technically, I think it's e-defense, right? Since it's smart.
Yeah, and I add my save target plus my sensor range, right? Because I'm like aware of it, and that gives me evasion.
Yeah, of course.
Check out.
4 explosive damage, and it does have knockback 1. So you will be knocked back 1, probably just like right here. Yeah. Let's see here. That was a movement, and that was his main weapon. That was a skirmish he did. He's going to do a quick action and launch some Hades missiles. All characters in a cone of 3 area, starting within range of 20. So it's a cone of 3, but he has a range up to 20. It is, yeah. Take 3 energy damage and 2 heat, half if they pass an agility save. The system doesn't need line of sight, just a possible route to the target. So,
Probably
is-
hit Hailstorm and I.
yes, that's what he's going to do. So, that is, okay, so you guys have to make an agility save, and the save to beat is 10.
Is the flat D20?
Yes. Well, add your agility if you have any agility.
Well,
Sometimes
got
you
a-
might.
1, so.
That one. Let's go.
Okay.
I have my core power activated, so I do get an accuracy on saves.
Great. Perfect.
18.
18. So you pass.
Damn it.
You still take half if they pass an agility save. So I'm guessing that's half the damage and heat.
I would guess.
If-
Yeah.
Okay. So total, it's 4 energy damage and 2 heat. So Backfire takes half, and
Right.
Hailstorm takes 4 damage, 2 heat. So
So I take 2
Ooh.
HP and 1 heat.
yes, correct. Yes. Is that structure?
No,
Yeah, it's
I
just-
wanted 4 heat. Then I would be in the danger zone, but I'm not in the danger zone yet.
Womp womp.
Let's see. Oh wait, I lied actually. Well, maybe not. So it's I got system trauma, but I also have my custom paint job.
Oh yeah, do that first.
Nice.
All right. But I will just destroy my expanded compartment as
Okay.
the missile just crumples the front of my neck.
Yeah. So. All right. So that is the end of the Rainmaker's turn. It used a skirmish and it used a quick action. It moved. It can't do anything else. So, who went last? Was it Mothman?
It was Mothman that went last.
Okay. So we can nominate whoever wants to go next.
Yeah. I don't know. El Diablo, if you got something like you think need to be done in the current formation, you can, but I think I'd rather go if possible.
Yeah, I mean, so the best thing for me to do is to pop over here and shoot this guy with my shotgun. So you got something that's kind of maybe more constructive.
Mhm.
Go for it.
Okay. Spencer, am I in Overwatch range of this guy?
1, 2, 3, 4. Do you have a threat of 4 weapon on you?
No, like am I in
for him. Right. No. You're not in Overwatch range.
Okay. I'm going to use my movement. To climb up. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. There's there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my free boost to go over.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna barrage him.
All right.
Right? Well, 1, 2. Yeah, that's what I'll have to do. So thermal lance first. That is a 6 to hit.
Against the Sentinel, hits of his evade, right?
Yeah.
No, 6 does not hit.
Okay, shotgun, an 8 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. 1 kinetic damage, which I think is caught by armor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna check. So I attacked with my thermal lance, right?
Yes.
Which generates 2 heat.
Uh-huh.
That puts me into the danger zone.
Nice.
I have an ability. The first attack roll you make on your turn while in the danger zone deals +2 heat on a hit. Since I hit with my shotgun,
Yeah.
does that deal +2 heat damage? Because it was the first attack roll I made while in the danger zone on my turn.
I would consider that yes, because it's the first attack once you've hit the danger zone. So
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then he takes
So he does take 2 damage, right?
takes 2 heat.
2 heat. Okay. All right. Let me mark that down. Elite Sentinel. Okay, heat cap. Okay. Got it. Cool. He takes 2 heat.
I think that's it for me. That was a move. That was a barrage. And I used my free boost. Yeah, I think that's it from me.
Okay. The Sentinel is gonna go now, and he just got attacked by you. So let's see here. He can shoot. Oh well, he's adjacent. So I was gonna say he was gonna use his combat shotgun, but he'd get difficulty trying to do a shot while he's right next to Chris. So, gosh, he'd probably just use his sword against Chris some more.
He wouldn't take a step forward, take a step at me.
I mean, he would, but he might provoke Overwatch for Chris. So
I mean, he's totally willing and able to do that. He can do that if he wants.
if he wants to,
Yeah,
I don't think he would
He can
though.
provoke Overwatch from Chris and I if he wants to attack me. That's on him.
All right, I believe he gets a +2 for his sword because he's elite. Yeah. So Chris, does that hit ya? The 12?
Yep.
4 kinetic damage, and that's gonna be his turn. So backfire. I think the only one left is El Diablo, right?
Yep, El Diablo's up.
Oh, hell, yeah, far from everybody. It's bad for him. I am going to use my Hyperspec Fuel Injector to give myself the boost for free. One, two, three, 4. Then I will regular boost Cool.
Gesundheit, Nye.
Thank you. I muted myself on the second one.
Move here. And because I can skirmish, and I will skirmish with my shotgun.
Ooh, against the Sentinel Commander here?
Yes, and I will name the Sentinel Commander my
Okay.
Yep. So roll a d20 with 2 advantage. So,
Let's go.
oh wait, let me double check. Is it 2 advantage? Yep. It's 1 advantage.
Chris, I'm trying to think what options we have with this guy, and I think we might have to like try and push him.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
ram him?
I can lock on. So
That
if I hit him
doesn't-
with a launcher and I'm locked onto him, I can consume it for a knockdown.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I might have an idea for you.
Okay.
We'll see.
I
We'll see
could
when we get around.
I could lift up that crate, and if you push him, I could prepare an action to drop it.
I think that situation is why the story technically
Does destroy.
doesn't say we're allowed to drop them.
Okay.
I know Spencer was being a nice GM to allow that, but I don't think the scenario is set up to allow dropping
It'd be
shipping
cool.
crates onto mechs.
It would be cool,
Agreed.
but yeah.
Spencer, an 11 did hit, right? You said?
Yes.
Okay. Full max damage.
Oh, are you attacking the Rainmaker? Sorry, I thought you were.
I can't attack the Rainmaker. He's too far.
Okay. So it is the Sentinel Commander. Okay, yeah, 6 damage. He has 1 armor, so he takes 5. Cool.
Yep, and because all I could do was skirmish because I boosted. I think that's it, right?
That sounds right.
Cool. Then I am done.
I'll go ahead and resolve this Sentinel Elite's second turn. So he is just going to do the same thing he did before Chris. He rolls to... Did he get the exact same thing? So, 4 kinetic damage to you again.
cool.
Okay. And that's it for the players, right? So we just need to resolve NPCs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This Hive is going to go next because he did move, but that was because of the commander. So the Hive needs to take its full turn. It's going to move 1, 2, 3. What's that range on there for the? It's a cone of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's actually only going to move right there to hit you with its cone 5 attack, Justin.
Me? Okay.
It has +1 accuracy to the Seeker Cloud and +1 attack bonus. So
Okay.
let's see if it hits. +1, +1d6.
Oh, yeah, I think.
Yeah, okay. So you take 3 kinetic damage.
Okay.
And that was against your E defense. It was a smart weapon, but I don't think that matters. And
Still 3 damage, right?
yeah. Now you are locked on.
Okay.
And with that lock on, the Rainmaker didn't go this turn, right? No.
Yes, it did.
It did. Yes. Okay.
Yes, it definitely went.
The only thing that I think is left is the Archer then.
Yes.
Yes, the only thing that's left. Okay. So the Archer, let's see here, is going to pick a new target. It's going to look down at Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let's see here. It's going to skirmish and do a quick action. So let's see here. It's skirmish. It's a range of 10. Let me just make sure you're within range of 10.
I think so.
Yes. Yeah. It is +2 to attack. So let's see here.
5. I don't believe you.
17.
Ah!
So you
It
take
touches me unpleasantly.
5 kinetic damage. Then its quick action is the suppress base reaction again. This is the same thing it did to Chris. So choose a target within line of sight in range 10 to become impaired, and the archer gains the moving target reaction. This will end on you, Justin. If it uses the moving target, if it's damaged, if you damage the archer, or leaves the archer's line of sight, or if the archer is stunned, jammed, or destroyed, the archer chooses a new target for this attack, or the archer ends as a free action. And the moving target reaction is basically, if you start to move, it will interrupt you with a single weapon attack. And that's the end of the NPC's turn. End of the second round. We begin again at the beginning of the third round. But I know we're getting towards the end of our kind of stream here. So what we can do, this might be a good stopping point for the session today. And what we can do is we can kind of pick up next week, kind of seeing how this kind of combat resolves. And if you guys make it back to forward operating base Saber. So, yeah. How does everybody feel right now? So
Angry.
I think that's a good call. Because I think like scheduled we would end in like 15 minutes, and
yeah.
it's definitely not enough time to do a full round.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mothman, I know that your mortar was destroyed. Do you have any weaponry on you?
Yeah, just not that I can really use from where I am.
Okay. It might be time for you to move into the fight.
No, I was planning on it. I mean, ideally, my next move, I was going to go here and then here, and then I was going to throw out a drone over here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think... Yeah, I don't have line on sight, so that would be all I could do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't shoot anyone, but I'm aware. I'm working on it.
Yeah. I think Hailstorm, if I go first and I try to like move and use up his reaction and like tank a hit, that might give you an opportunity to move away, because you only get, even though he has 2 turns, he still only has 1 reaction, right, Spencer?
Yeah.
So like I could take an Overwatch attack.
Are you talking about the Sentinel Elite?
Yeah.
He did activate his special Eyes of Midnight, so he made himself slowed, but he can take Overwatch once per turn now instead of once per round.
Okay. By once per turn,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where in the turn order his turns are, he just gets 2 per round now? Or is it like
Not
once
to-
per enemies, once per like character takes their turn? Okay.
Yes.
Never
Yeah.
mind then.
Yeah. He made himself slowed to do that.
Yeah, disengage.
Yeah.
Disengage or knock down might be our only bet then.
Smart weapons still require line of sight, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
They just attack E defense. Seeking, I think, is the thing that doesn't require
There's also arcane.
arcane.
Yeah.
I knew arcing, but I didn't know if there's anything else. Because it would make sense if a smart weapon, like, could not rely on line of sight. It's the whole point of being smart, but whatever. Yeah, no, I'm angry, Spencer.
Why? You got
My-
a huge artillery strike off.
And they didn't die. I, like, never hit anyone in combat. And then I did, and I hurt them, and they didn't die.
Look, you did 11 damage to 2 different mechs. That's a lot of damage.
But
Let
they're
me
not
just say
dead.
that, okay? No, they're not dead yet, but you did a lot of damage, and 7 to another one. So
And one of them might have died once.
now I would have told you.
Oh, if he went into overheat
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
If it lost structure, I would have told you.
Are we allowed to have an idea of how much that hurt them?
Yeah, definitely. Visually, this Sentinel Commander looks pretty roughed up, and so does the Hive looks probably below half.
Probably at fucking 12 health.
The archer is I would say
I think-
also not looking great.
Okay. Good to know.
This elite down here took some damage, but I mean, it's still chugging along. And then the Rainmaker, the veteran Rainmaker at the top hasn't been touched.
It's still
so,
chugging? I've hit it for like 9 damage.
yeah. It's like halfway. I'll clarify. It's like halfway.
How much HP does it get? Jesus. All right, cool. I don't know. Does anybody have any like questions or thoughts or anything?
No. Fighting some big baddies, got a fair amount of armor and lots of health, and we could really use Ashley right now.
Well, that's the thing. If she was here, there'd be more enemies on the board. So.
Right. Yeah, that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm not sure if she's joining next week, but if she does, I might say like those enemies might come in as reinforcements, and she'll probably come in as like a reinforcement as well. Like she'll deploy to the player zone, because when we started, you could see like all the enemies were scattered across the map. I'd probably just start them at the top of the map. Obviously, there's no real rules for this, so I'd probably just start them at the top of the map. They can kind of come in if they want to, and then Ashley starts in the player deployment zone, and she kind of comes in from there. So
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
but
So do we get to attributions?
yeah, we could definitely do that. I was gonna say, how did the narrative part kind of feel for you guys? Because that was our first time really kind of like going into the rules, loosey-goosey rules light kind of version of things. So
Yeah, it was fun.
I liked it. It felt weirdly loose, but I think that's because I'm just used to like D&D mechanics where it's like, this is what this skill does. It is very defined.
You say
Yeah.
that, but people have tried to really stretch some of those D&D skills in me.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Like you asked the DM, like, could I use this because of X, Y, or Z? But D&D is structured that like, this is kind of what this skill is for, and that's what it is. Now, whether your D&D is like fast and loose with those rules, fine. This game is not that. It is specifically like the rule book says, pitch me your idea. Go ahead.
Yep.
Convince me.
convince me. Oh,
Yeah, I think
say what you will.
it's a good fit, and it's a good, like, it's got just enough to it to act as connective tissue between the combat.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need to be any like super complicated or anything. Just roll some dice so you can get some bonuses or punishments for the next combat that happens.
Mm-hmm. So
It also felt kind of easy. Maybe that's just because we got 2 good rolls, and there are only like 3 of those.
no, it's
Like-
it's kind of by design in that sense. The rulebook kind of says stuff like, generally outside of combat, like your pilots are skilled enough to kind of do what they need to do. That's why it's kind of like a 50-50 most of the time. I can, like we were discussing before, I can augment it with the risky, difficult, or heroic tasks. If like you wanted to do something like, I'm gonna punch a hole through this ship hull, and it's like, in your mech, no, with my bare hands. It's like, okay, you can't.
Yeah. Like, if you think about the
That'd be
math,
heroic, though.
if you think about the math, like without any like bonuses or skill triggers, you just have a base 50% chance of succeeding at doing anything. And when you have someone helping, that's a +3 expected value, and you have a +2 from a skill trigger, like that's a +5. At that point, you only have like a 25% chance of failure.
Yeah. And the book does describe kind of things as like longer tasks, like things you can't do. Like a dice roll could be like over months compared to just like within like a few seconds. So depending on like what your action was, like I like to imagine the whole bus thing, that was like 3 skill checks. That probably took you another like, I don't know, hour to 2 hours just to kind of make sure like the route was secure. You guys were kind of being like okay. You had to fight off a couple mechs before you got to this location. Like it's probably nighttime. It's like almost it's nighttime now that you're kind of doing this like train depot fight. So yeah. But yeah, so
Cool.
well, we can go ahead and say who we're thankful for, and then kind of pick up again next week then with everything.
I think so. If you give me 1 second, I can pull up where, like, the actual list, so we don't have to fumble through it.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys to kind of finish out this combat, and well, if you finish it out and then get to downtime, because downtime does a little bit more, it goes way more in depth than just like what we were doing before.
Mhm.
There's like a structure to all these kind of roles and stuff like that, and you can get more reserves, like the artillery strike. You can get reserves that you can use in the next like mission, so to say, because this is still mission 1.
Mhm.
So
Well, yeah. Thanks to everybody at Massif Press for the game we're playing, Lancer.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks to John Arena and the rest of the team that made CompCon. It's very helpful to have all of that like automated and online for building and managing all of our characters and mechs. Thanks to NASA for our little background image of Picture of Space. Thanks to DS Technician for Desolate World, the little BGM song. Roll20 for little virtual tabletop that we're using. Heroforge for any like miniature art you see and of like humans, and Retrograde Minis for any miniature art of mechs that you see. If you want to catch up on past episodes of Lancer or any of the other campaigns, you can find us wherever. You can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
we got them up everywhere now.
Yeah. And if you can't find it where you get your podcast, tell me and I'll put it there.
Yeah. Shoot us a message on Twitch, on YouTube, wherever. We'll get you a link.
Yep. Cool. Well, we'll
Please
be back.
make Dalton do more work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we'll be back at about the same time next Sunday, right? About 7:15.
7:15 Eastern or 4:15 Pacific. Did I get that right? Yeah.
Right.
I can calculate time zones.
All right. Cool.
But yeah,
Sign us off,
Yeah.
Spencer.
thank you guys for tuning in so much. We appreciate you watching. We hope you've been enjoying our Lancer playthrough. I've certainly been enjoying it. So catch us next week while we finish out the mission 1 of Lancer. So keep on learning, guys.
Peace.
See you then.